Hey, 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 what's going on? Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for joining me today. I don't know how you're seeing this for the first time or what made you tune in to me, but I'm so glad that you decided to do it. My name is Melody, and I am doing a video podcast. And actually, this is my inaugural video. So if you see some imperfections, or if you see some things that could be improved, believe me, it will be. But the best thing to do is to start. So I am a Christian. I'm a proud Christian. And so I really do my best to pray and listen to the Lord. And so he said, start this. And so I'm starting it. I was actually going to start with audio. For me, it was a little bit easier to get started this way because I already have a YouTube channel, a pretty defunct YouTube channel that has not been around long, but I've used it a couple times. And also I used it while I was in grad school. So maybe not the best segue, but that is a segue. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and about what this podcast will be about. So again, my name is Melody, and I am a 40-year-old lady, and I used to want to be a journalist when I was a little girl. So we all have our dreams, and either an attorney or a journalist is what I always talk to my mom and grandma about. And for some reason, I did not go the journalist direction. I actually ended up with an undergraduate degree in marketing. So that is where my degree is from. And then a couple years ago, I received a master's degree in ministry from a university that is in Oklahoma that is affiliated with my church denomination. So the best way to get started is to start, right? So I'm doing this because some years back, the Lord told me to, again, I am a Christian. So if you hear me refer to the Lord telling me, it's because I try, not perfect, but to stay in communication with him through prayer, through meditating on the word of God, through talking to other Christians, etc. Anyway, the Lord told me a few years ago to start something on Facebook. I was really active on Facebook at the time, and I was just sitting on my couch one day, and the Lord was like, I need you to start something where you talk about current events and talk about the biblical perspective. Now, mind you, that idea didn't just come out of the blue. This is something that was basically an offshoot of things I already did in terms of talking to my friends. You know, I had some girlfriends or some guy friends I would call up about, man, did you see what happened with thus and so celebrity? Or did you see what happened in this situation? And oh my goodness, and then I would talk about the biblical solution because or what the word of God has to say about it from my limited understanding. And so that is just a conversation. I believe that the Lord wanted to take that idea and make it a bigger platform. And so literally, I felt the Lord say, do it now. And so I got up, I created a page on Facebook, and I called it I'm Just Saying. That's the name of this podcast. It's going to be called, or it is called, I'm Just Saying. So basically, the premise is to talk about current events or cultural things that are going on, and try to give it a biblical, not just a biblical application, but a biblical solution. And I would say if there is one, but there is always a biblical solution. So how it began on Facebook, though, was a little bit different. And I'm going to try to still apply those things here. I just won't be able to interact right now the way I used to interact on Facebook. So on Facebook, every Saturday, I would present, or during the week, I would present a question about, I don't know. Let me just throw out an example. when the Me Too movement started. I used to lead a Bible study. And so we had talked about Bill Cosby and the Me Too movement and some of the other people like Harvey Weinstein that had been accused of basically sexually assaulting women. And so I asked the question about that. And I said, hey, on Saturday, I'm going to jump on. Let's discuss. So that is how it began. And I actually did that for several months and it got pretty good reception. So like I would put something out about, there was a, oh, well, no, that was before. I'm just saying, excuse me. I was thinking about when Bruce Jenner turned to Caitlyn Jenner, but that is not the same. That was before I actually did this page. And really that was because I would post questions like that on Facebook and want to hear people's opinions about it. So thus this whole thing. But I can't remember everything that I put on there because I've been off of Facebook for quite some time now. But I do remember that the first time and only time I actually did a video where I invited somebody in, you know how you can invite people in on your Facebook page, was when I saw a person related to a gospel artist, I won't say their name, with a really, 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 really tight dress on that looked like it was painted on. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just saying about Christians and how they dress. And so I invited my friend on, and the idea was to have other Christians on who actually had different perspectives. That's exactly what we did. We did maybe 20 minutes of me introducing the topic. My girlfriend got on here. We talked and we laughed, and a lot of people were commenting. And so that is the spirit in which I would like to do this podcast. It's just that until I get a little bit more tech savvy, you won't necessarily be seeing me invite people on, but God willing, it will happen. You may want to know about who I am spiritually. Like I said, I'm a Christian. I gave my heart to the Lord when I was 10 years old. There may be some story times about things that I've gone through in my life. In fact, I'm sure there will be as God leads. You may say, well, what gives you the authority or the expertise? Nothing. I don't have the expertise, but my authority comes from Christ, just like anybody else's who is a Christian. We can share our thoughts on the Word of God. And so you don't have to agree with me. Matter of fact, I don't mind when people disagree with me as long as you're respectful to not only me, but to the people who would comment. So this is pretty much a rough draft, but I wanted to introduce myself to you all. I don't plan to have any videos that are over 20 or 30 minutes. You know how that goes though. It might get good. And I will be giving you ways that you can contact me. But just wanted to let you know that I am beginning. So God bless you. And I pray that you have a good evening or a good morning or a good afternoon wherever you are.